All right, time for another deep dive. You guys send in tons of beginner Spanish stuff, and this grammar PDF really caught my eye. It just jumps right into building sentences, which I kind of love.
Yeah, that hands-on approach.
Exactly. And they don't mess around either. Like right off the bat, it's all about these basic Spanish nouns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, boli for pen, libro for book,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Smart, really.
Right.
Everyday objects makes it relatable.
Totally. But I did notice something interesting.
What's that?
What's it like? They just casually drop in that Spanish has grammatical gender.
Ah, yeah. That always throws English speakers for a loop.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just learning the word for pen, it's the pen. But is it un boli or una boli? My brain already hurts.
It's a huge E difference. We don't even think about it in English, but yeah, suddenly a pen's got a gender in Spanish. Wild, right?
It's a whole different way of seeing things. So how does this PDF explain it without freaking people out?
Well, they break it down with the articles un and una, like our A, except they change depending on the noun's gender.
Okay, so a pen would be un boli. But what about a table? Would that be una mesa?
You got it. You see, you're getting it. And this PDF, it doesn't sugarcoat that this is a thing. It's upfront about how different English and Spanish are.
Better rip off the Band-Aid, I guess. Speaking of things that might make me panic a little, the pronunciation stuff, this PDF, big on getting it right, but some of those rolled R's, forget about it.
It takes practice, but that's really key. The PDF's right to emphasize that. Ideally, you'd have a native speaker to guide you.
Totally. Reading's one thing, but hearing it? Whole other ball game. Okay, so we've got our basic nouns down, but how do we actually start making sentences in Spanish? That's where things get real, right?
Yeah, you're telling me. And thankfully, this PDF, it dives right into that sentence structure. They break it down. Simple. Subject, verb, object.
Just like we learned back in the day.
Exactly. But of course, there are a few Spanish twists.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, for example. One thing the PDF is really big on is that Spanish. Way stricter about having a subject in every sentence.
Really?
Yeah. Like in English, we might say it's a pen, super casual. But in Spanish, you gotta say it is a pen, use the pronoun hello for it, can't skip it.
So even though in English we drop that it all the time, Spanish is nope, gotta be specific.
Exactly. And the PDF hammers that home early on, which is good. Foundation stuff.
It's those little things, right?
Yeah.
That make a big difference.
Huge.
Speaking of little things, contractions. The PDF even covers those. You know how it is becomes it's.
Right. Showing that it's not all alien, Spanish does some familiar things too.
Totally. Makes it less scary.
For sure. Although the pronunciation, that's where things get fun.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, take it's, right. It's spelled pretty much the same in both languages.
Yeah.
But that phrase, it's a pen, in Spanish, spoken naturally, it's more like it's a pen, all connected.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, that throws me for a loop a little.
It's a whole retraining of your ear, not just your tongue.
So it seems. All right, so we can at least string together a few words now. Basic sentence. But how about an actual conversation? How does this PDF get us from it's a pen to, chatting it up with a native speaker? I mean, it'd be kind of useless if this PDF didn't get us actually talking in Spanish, right? And it's a pen is great, but...
You want to have a real conversation.
Exactly. So how do we get there?
Well, this is where it gets fun. The PDF jumps into conversational basics, starting with those yes-no questions.
Okay, yeah. How do you even ask, is this a pen in Spanish?
All right, so get this. They actually give you that exact phrase. It's, ¿es esto un boli?
Hold on, say that again.
¿Es esto un boli?
Okay, so it's instead of is this, it's more like this is, but with a question mark.
You got it. The word order's different. Takes a sec to get used to.
Totally.
Yeah.
And for the answers, can you say yes or no? Or does Spanish have a whole thing about that too?
Totally a thing. The PDF, it stresses using complete answers. So not just yes, but yes it is.
So even if in real life people shorten it, they're saying as a learner, gotta nail the full version first.
Exactly. Shows you really get the structure foundation right.
That makes sense. So yes is covered. What about saying no in Spanish?
Just as important. The PDF uses the example, no, it's not, which is no lo es.
No lo es. Okay, so the no goes after the verb no lo es. Interesting. At least it's consistent.
Exactly. Spanish is all about patterns, and this PDF makes those patterns crystal clear.
That's awesome. I got to say, this has been eye-opening. We went from zero to, I could actually have a very, very basic Spanish chat now.
And we just scratched the surface Think of this deep dive as like your toolkit. You've got the basics. Now go out there and explore.
Yes. And remember, everyone, the journey of 1,000 holas starts with a single boli. Happy learning.